We are again in chapter 20 of Proverbs. We're at verse 14, which is a lot of fun. It's no good! It's no good, says the buyer. Then off he goes and boasts about his purchase. This is talking about haggling, right? So you come in and you tell the person, oh, you're selling junk. And then you get the price beat down as far as you can, and then you buy it, and then you go out and say, look at how great a thing I got for such a low price. I was so clever. I was able to deceive, to cause. This is human nature right here, right? You go into the car dealership, and boy, you just go, oh, I don't really want that. I don't really want that. Then you get the buy on the car, and then you're out bragging to your friends. You see the car I got, and I got him to throw in. Well, there's deception going on both sides here. The seller generally doesn't sell you something for less than a good profit. It just doesn't happen. He's going to make his money. Otherwise, he's not going to sell it. And so you're deceiving yourself, number one. And your attempt to deceive him, it's no good. He knows the product he has. It may actually be no good, but that's not what this is talking about. He knows the product he has. It's a mutual deception society so that you can mutually build yourself falsely up in pride. And this is human nature. We go out and we try to deceive each other and so that we can brag about things, but that's not reality. No, God views reality. I'm not sure whether Solomon is here saying this is good or bad, that people do this. I would say it's bad. I like to have just honest and flat, this is what is, let's do it. Okay, you're going to make a profit. That's good. I like the fact you're making a profit. I don't want to pay too much. That's good. I don't, you're going to give me a fair price. And I think that's a better way to treat people than this whole, we're going to just both deceive each other in what we do. And out of it, we're both going to claim that we got a victory over one another. I think it's just better to say, hey, you're trying to make a profit. I'm trying to get a good price. Let's find a place where we can both do that. Moving on. 15. Gold there is, and rubies in abundance, but lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. Gold and rubies, this seems to be contradictory to reality, right? The reason gold and rubies are valuable mainly is because they are scarce. And yet here, Solomon says, no, those are really abundant. There's more than enough of them. But what there's not more than enough of, what is truly scarce, what we need more of, is lips that speak knowledge. Words that come out of the mouth that come from God. And you would think that that would be common, but it really isn't. And that's what the world needs more of. Often we come to a problem and I say, we know the solution to the problem. It's Jesus. The solution is that we speak the truth of Christ. The solution is that we find the problem and we apply God's law to it. And then we apply his gospel salve. So that's what we need. Rubies and gold, we're going to have enough of those. And you can use them. They're good things. And it's good to have them. But God gives us plenty. But because of sin, because of the devil, we need more. What was really scarce is people speaking the truth of Christ. Let's go to 16. Take the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger. Hold it in pledge if he does it for a wayward woman. So this is a lien. A garment is taken, an item is held, guaranteeing that you're going to pay back a loan. And if someone does something, if they're going to give a loan, if they want money from you so they can give money to a stranger, so that they can stand assurance for someone they don't even know, well, that person's a fool. If you're lending money to someone you don't know, you're a fool. And so you need to be treated like a fool. Rather than then at that point, even if you trust the person who's holding the lien, you have the lien on, you don't treat them as a person you trust because they are acting foolishly. So you take their garment. So if it was a person you trusted, you'd say, oh, you're good for it. I know this other person that I'm going to lend to, you'll pay back if he doesn't. You're good for it. But if you happen to know the person, this person you trust, and they're doing it for someone they don't know, then you say, I can't trust you really because your actions have made it so I can no longer trust you. Because now you are doing something very foolish. You're lending money to someone you don't even know. Or in the case of a wayward woman, you're lending to someone you do know, and that person is not trustworthy. I know that person's going to run off with your money. That person is only seeking out their own good. So the action of a loving person trusting someone they don't even know places them in the category of someone you can no longer trust. We should look at this in our own lives, how we are affecting others when we are, not that we're foolish to love someone else, but we're foolish in our behavior out of love for someone else. Then the person who trusts you, who generally finds you to be reliable, a friend, someone they can have confidence in, they can't have confidence in you. Moving on. 17. Food gained by fraud tastes sweet to a man, but he ends up with a mouthful of gravel. When it's first done, I win. I have taken this from this other person and now I get to enjoy it, and I'm going to enjoy it so well. That is until the consequences happen. Eventually they'll happen because of God, but they often happen in this world also. So you had a nice time with your crack and cocaine money until the police arrested you, or the other drug lord shot you, or the crack and cocaine killed you, or you had to run, you had to flee from the place, or you found out that your family despises you, or all these things. So for a moment, it's a momentary, a fleeting pleasure. But the results of it, the consequences are lasting and deleterious. Let's go to 18. Make plans by seeking advice. If you wage war, obtain guidance. There you go. There are people who know more than you do, or know other things than you do, or who can look at things in a way that you don't. And when you're starting on a project, seek out those who know about that project, who have done this in the past. They can help you avoid pitfalls, particularly when you're doing something as severe as war, where Christ says you need to count the cost before you go into battle. Gain guidance on it. If you're a Christian and you wish to understand Scripture, there's a lot that has been written about Scripture, and a lot that has been studied, and a lot that's been said. You can find a lot of good guidance on your understanding of Scripture. I'm using right now a Concordia, an old one, you can see, self-study Bible. It's got a lot of information in it, and a lot of it's good. There's guidance in here. I have books behind me, commentaries, and the Lutheran Confessions, the Catechism, things of that nature. A lot of good information there. I should seek guidance when I look at a text for preaching. And then when someone comes to me with a problem, I have some information back there to help. We have the internet. It's not always reliable, don't get me wrong, but we can find a lot of information there. I talk to my fellow pastors. I can talk to my wife. Not if it's a privacy issue. We don't do that, but when we can seek guidance. Let's stop there, and we will continue.